Well, hello, all my friends. Thank you so much for popping in with me today. My name is Jackie Alves, and I've been really looking forward to this video because I got this fabulous shirt that I wanted to wear. I'm just being totally honest. But I'm gonna show you some amazing things today. Not only a quick and easy glam if you're like me and you're hitting 50 or 60 or 70 or 80, but a nice glam look that you can achieve regardless of mature skin, hooded lids, tiny eyes, whatever the situation is. But I'm also going to share with you some incredible setting techniques. Now, how to set that look is always a big question, especially when you have mature skin. How do you not overdo it, and what is going to be effective? So I'm going to share all those things with you today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, you guys. We are growing so much, and I've been so excited that our reach is expanding. I get to share with more women like us who, we kind of get halfway through life and go, what the heck? Like, I used to know how to do makeup. Why do I feel like my 12-year-old granddaughter or 19-year-old daughter is acing makeup and I don't know what to do with myself? Welcome into my channel, friend. Let's get started. So, I already have done some skincare, a little bit of skin prep, just kind of took it light today. It is so stinking humid here in Arizona in my makeup studio where I am today. And I don't know, like, you think desert is dry, and I don't know what is up with Yuma thinking they are Miami today, but I always say, Yuma, you are not Miami. Quit trying to be sexy. Stop with the humidity. As a matter of fact, why is my fan slowing down? I have a giant tower fan over here. Try not to do hot flashes during the videos. Sometimes can wreck everything I'm doing. All right, like I said, let's get started. So, skincare done. I'm gonna talk about primer quickly. I like a lightweight primer, especially when it's hot, humid. There's a chance of a hot flash in the forecast. Today in our weather forecast, we have many hot flashes in the Jackie Alves area, as you can see. Yeah, I know. You guys probably experience it too. So I'm going to use a lightweight primer. This is one of my favorites. I use it really very often. And sometimes I don't use primer. I'll be honest with you guys. Especially if I'm in a super hurry. But really, if I want my makeup to last longer, I do take a minute to use a primer. But again, I'm not a huge fan of a thick putty primer or silicone based primer. I'm not saying they're bad or don't use them, but for me, especially when it's humid, I find a lightweight, easy to use all-in-one primer that's water based is my friend. Okay, I have a feeling I'm gonna make a lot of mistakes when I'm talking today. It just seems to be one of those days, so stick with me. I've got a longwear foundation I'm going to use today because I'm doing a little bit of a glam look for you. I've got this new groovy shirt. I am going to use a longwear foundation that's best for like events or photography, and I'm having a birthday party soon. I'm going to be 50, so I'm going to practice my kind of longwear easy glam because that's probably what I will be doing for my birthday. So let's pull up our sleeves. Getting a little serious here. Actually, I just don't want to get makeup on my groovy new shirt. So I'm going to use this beautiful longwear foundation. I'm actually going to add some of my some of my serum in that I've been talking about in my last couple videos. It's a full face serum. It's very lightweight. It has like lactic acid in it, some other things. I don't know. It's really, really a great serum. And I don't typically use it with a brush, but I have found this little kind of bulky brush works really well with this combo. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Let me get my hand mirror. So the reason why I added that serum in is because it really has started like making my skin come back to life, and I just love the way it's been looking, you guys. It's a serum for dehydrated skin. Not necessarily greasy or thick for dry skin. It's for dehydrated skin. So even if you have oily skin, you can still get dehydrated. And I just mixed it with my foundation that you guys can see. It looks a little bit yellow on camera especially, but once you get it blended out, it looks really nice. And especially if you've got a lot of red like I do, I appreciate a little extra gold because it'll color correct it for you. So just a little on my chest. And another reason I'm using this long wear foundation is it's kind of transfer proof. So I don't have to worry so much about it getting on my clothes. Something that had a little more moisture or like a dewy finish might transfer. So I don't want to get it on my shirt. Now, normally I would just put my shirt on after I was done, but this sucker had to go over my head. And you can see I have a plan for my hair. So I didn't want to put this on over my rollers. Or over my hair, I mean. You know what I mean. All right, getting that worked out and buffed. That actually looks really pretty. Remember how yellow it was when I first put it on? So I just mixed that serum right into my foundation. And the reason why I'm using this brush, it's not a kabuki brush, you guys. It's actually my broken foundation brush. I lost the handle off of it and I don't care. It's a good brush and I don't want to throw it away. I don't want to buy a new one. It's still working. I'm going to get just a little bit more foundation and a little bit more of my serum. I feel like I just need a little bit more on my forehead. So just like a drop of that serum, all I got on there. And I'm just gonna mix it around. If you have a big fluffy foundation brush, I wouldn't mix the serum and foundation together and then go that direction because it might suck it right up. But this being like this little kind of packed in foundation brush works really good. So this morning when I was at the gym, I was on the treadmill and I was, you know, kind of thinking and planning what I wanted to talk about today during my video, because I was pretty excited to get on here and make it and show you guys this little kind of one of my favorite little glam techniques and some setting tips. But then this song came on while I'm on the treadmill and I have my little headphones in, walking along, you know, feeling pretty cool that I even made it to the gym. And this particular song came on that had a pretty good beat. But man, it got me really ramped up. It was like, okay, I'm gonna go off subject real quick. What is with middle-aged women like me? Well, a little further than middle-aged, but why do we like rap music? Like, I don't know, if you don't like rap music, it's okay, but why do I like stuff like that? You know, I've been saved and redeemed and I love Jesus, but there's still that little bit of like gangster rap lover in me. What is that? I don't know if you're like that at all. And if you saw my last video, you noticed that I included a kind of a weird song throwback. It was pretty funny, but so anyway, this song comes on and it's got like the most incredible beat and I'm walking along. I never go higher than like 3.5 miles an hour. I just can't do it. And for some reason, I was so hyped, I thought I could do like 4. So I turned the treadmill up to 4 miles an hour. And I was actually doing it, like I was stumbling along a little bit, but I was holding the little handlebars on the side for dear life. And then once I did it, I was like, I'm gonna go to 4.2. It was so bad, you guys. I must have looked hilarious on that treadmill. And I was doing it for like maybe 10 seconds. I was like, okay, I'm good on that. I turned it back down to 4. Like I can't handle it anymore. But I did it for a couple of seconds at least, which was kind of a big deal. I did it for a minute, but you know, I was feeling pretty cool with that music and I got it turned up. And even when I was at 4.2, I had to run slightly. So I was like trying to get into a little jog because in my head, I could see myself running. I was like, I can do this. Felt like Rocky. I was like, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, like running up the steps, right? So I took off with this little jog. I could not handle it. I felt like my butt cheeks weighed like 50 pounds each and that they were pounding as I was running and my knees were like, stop it right now. Oh my God, my butt felt so heavy. It was like, bam, bam. Like, what's happening? I'm seeing other people running on the treadmill like it's no big deal. But, you know, also, they weren't 50-year-old me. So I've got a little contour here. moving right along. Oh, that was just a lightweight setting powder I just did. Very lightweight, because this is not the point that I'm gonna worry so much about setting. We're gonna do that at the end, but I just wanted to buff my foundation a little bit, make sure I got it buffed around in the cracks and, you know, brought it down my neck and chest like I do. So now contour. You guys have seen me use this a million times. This is my own brand of contour palette that I use here at the Beauty Bar. All right, so I'm using the lightest brown shade, and I'm just gonna go under my cheekbone quickly. I really wanna do a video with some advanced contour techniques for us chicks who maybe have learned a really simple way to contour, but we would like to get a little bit more in depth for those special occasions, or how to sculpt out a little bit. I've talked about how to sculpt the jawline to help with jowls or double chins, but I would love to do a little bit more sculpting. So if you've got some things you want to know about, you guys, please always feel free to put in the comments too. Like, hey, Jackie, I would love to learn how to do whatever it is you'd like to do. And just right under the cheekbones, I'm gonna do my forehead and right under my jaw, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back with a little bit of contour, and you can see I did my forehead, under my cheek where I started, and then under my jaw, just kind of sculpting it out a little bit, really simple. If you wanna do a light bronzer instead of a contour, that's fine, but I always recommend like the number 3, then down the neck just a little. I'm gonna use a pink blush, and this is a really kind of cool tone pink over here. It's definitely gonna go with the purple shirt. I don't wanna use a purple blush though. And I am just gonna use a little bit of this blush. It's got a lot of like pigment in it, so it can get pretty bright on you if I'm not careful. You can see I'm just taking it easy, really light. I do like to do my blush a little bit more than necessary in the beginning, because by the time I get to the end, it's like it all starts to blend in, and then you're like, oh, I should put on more blush. So I'll just do it in the beginning, starting at the hairline and fade toward the nose. All right, just barely trying to stamp it on a little bit. You guys can see that's a pretty high pigment, just for as little product as I put on there. So just be careful when trying a new product or something with a lot of pigment, because I really want it to blend. I don't want it to right in one spot. And then I'll do a little bit on the tip of my nose. All right, so like I said, I was in the gym this morning, and that's new for me. So I'm not like a fitness guru, and I'm not super in great shape or anything like that, but I recently, like maybe about a year or so ago, started some hormone replacement therapy. I don't know if anybody's doing that or has heard of it. Maybe you're reluctant to do it, but I really suggest you talk with your doctor and, if possible, give it a whack. I mean, it really has helped me a lot, and there's no way I was getting in the gym before that. I felt so tired and miserable, you guys. I had a hard time even just walking in the door to the Beauty Bar. Sometimes I was just, my shoulders hurt. I was very fatigued, and the hormone replacement therapy has helped so much. So I'll get back to that later, but right now let's talk about eyeshadow. So one of my favorite things that I teach in my Makeup Academy here at the Beauty Bar is about how to design, apply, and maintain your look. It's something I learned from another makeup artist, and it is so important, you guys. So don't just go into your fat giant palette and start slapping your colors on. First, design it. Think about what you're wearing, what you want the look to be like, and think, you know, what shades am I gonna use? So I'm actually gonna try, I'm gonna do this light cream shade first as my base color, and then I wanna use this wacky, like purpley steel color over here. It probably looks gray on the screen, but it's got like a kind of a weird lavender steel undertone, so I think it'll work great with this. I've never put it on my eyes before, so it might be a disaster, but there's no way to know unless we try it. And then I will probably go in with maybe this dark brown to accent my outer corner. Probably a little bit of that underneath. If it doesn't work out, I'll figure it out later, but I think that's what I want to try. So I have designed my look. Now part of the maintain your look is if you start to see a little bit of shine in the forehead as you go, you can just grab your little brush, your powder brush, and just buff it out. That helps you kind of maintain as you go. And then also, oh, I'm sorry, the second step was apply. So we're gonna apply it now, and then the maintain your look. You can maintain as you go, like I said. But then at the end, part of the maintain is gonna be the setting spray. We're gonna talk about all of the setting tips and tricks that I have for you, techniques, and some actual products, some setting products and sprays. Okay, so going in with this palette and a big fat brush. If you've got smaller eyes than me, just use a smaller brush, it's okay. I'm gonna just go on my entire eyelid from lashes to brows and side to side. And I already covered my eyelids with foundation and powder. So that covered up any veins that I had showing or darkness and really evened out my eyelids. Now you can do like a lid primer or, I don't know, an eyeshadow primer, concealer, anything like that that you want. But I find that less is more really is key for me. I don't want to pile up all that product that gets into my lines and wrinkles. I also don't want to pay for all that product. All right, so I'm switching to a magnifying mirror and just buffing my eyelid a little bit where it started to crease. All right, I'm going to switch over to a crease brush and just pick up a little bit of a pink shade first to start before I go to that purple one I showed you. And I'm just gonna use it right in my eyelid. This is a really kind of neutral pink. It's not a bright pink. But I'm just using it to soften the blow of that dark steely purple one I showed you. And you can see I'm bringing it towards my brow and out just as far as I can get it without being ridiculous. I want to make sure that I'm bringing the eye out and not just playing it safe, staying right in the crease. Because then when you open your eye, if you've got a hooded lid like me and you just open, then it all disappears. So, like, you know, bring it up. Okay, so hormone replacement therapy, like I mentioned earlier. Since starting that, I've had a lot more energy, of course. I didn't realize I was so low on testosterone. I was down to like nothing. Even my doctor was like, whoa, holy cow. So I have felt really great, a lot of energy. Actually had a little bit of a sex drive back, which was a nice change. Sorry to my son who's editing my videos. You can skip over that, just put your earplugs in. Mom's talking about weird stuff. He's 30, he can handle it. Okay, so what I was saying is a lot more energy, feeling more alive, but some of the wacky things that comes with that is like, okay, I talk about my thinning hairline a lot, but now I've got like a beard growing. What is that? And I know we all talk about like those weird hairs that start coming in later that don't belong there, and it's like, you know, why are my eyebrows disappearing, but now I have like rando beard? I was wondering, like, when was the bearded lady a thing at the circus? Because it's been a reference of mine lately. I actually looked it up, and they haven't really had bearded ladies at the circus since the 1910s. I guess it said something about people becoming more sensitive and compassionate towards people. I think that's a good thing. But sometimes I feel like the bearded lady. I mean, I got to get in there. All right, I'm going to go to that darker eyeshadow shade that I showed you, that kind of steely purple. And just a little bit on this smaller brush, right down this way to my lash line. Let me come closer so you can see. And now I'm just going to fade it over. You can see right there. Let me get a little bit more. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, I'm always talking about how I get everything crooked. I get out of the line. Sometimes it looks really funny, borderline horrible as I'm going. But you guys are so great to me. You're always like encouraging me in the comments, and you're like, don't worry about it. You know, at least you're being real. Nobody gets it perfect. So thank you for that. But it's true. It's hard to get it perfect, especially when you need magnifying mirrors and you wear glasses like me. All right, just getting it in that crease, that dark, like purpley plum color. It doesn't have too much pink in it though, so I like that because this shirt doesn't seem to be really pinky purple either. I'm trying to bring it out. It's probably not even with the other side, but that's okay. Once you get your liner and lashes on, everything really comes together. So really, really trust that process. So, okay, back to talking about some hormones. I have really tried to deal with the whole beard and hair in weird places that nobody even wants to talk about. I've had to deal with that. You know, I've tried to deal with it the best that I can. And I wanted to try like that, the laser, like light hair zapping, hair removal systems that are like handheld that you can get. They're like $400. I've been wanting to try one of those so bad. If you've ever tried one, please let me know in the comments. I always want to hear what's going on with you guys. All right, I'm going to take that dark purple and go under my eye. I had mentioned I might use that brown, but I don't think I will. I like the way this is looking, so I might just stick with this. So I've been wanting to try the laser hair remover thing, but it's so expensive. You know, I hate to buy something like that and then it doesn't work. And then you have to consider, you have to let your hair grow a little bit before you can use it, I think. I'm not sure if I'm right on that, but from what I understand, you'll have to let the hair grow out. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm willing to do a beard, like to let it grow so that I can zap it. I don't know if I can handle that action. Maybe if I confined myself to a deserted island and just turned into like a Sasquatch and then give me the device and I'll sit there and zap myself, probably take me a really long time. Yeah, so I don't know about that. But I have really, really considered it, you guys. Oh, where's my brush? Here it is. I have really considered it. I'm going back to the pink just to blend it up a little bit. And then, lo and behold, one of the companies asked me to do a video for them. Like, I think they would pay me to do a video to use it. And I thought, I really want to do that. But would I be able to be honest if they pay me? Do I have to say that I like it even if I don't? I don't know if I, you know, I can't even say I don't know if I could do that. I wouldn't do that. So I have to clarify with them, am I allowed to tell the truth? Because you guys know I'm going to tell the truth. So I don't want to get myself in trouble. So just doing it on my own, just buying it and letting you guys know, seems a little more my style. So, all right, I'm done with my eyeshadow thus far. I think it's really uneven, you guys. I don't know. And I can't find, oh, here's my mirror. Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. But now I want to add a little pizzazz, if you will, a little bit of pow. Oh, let me get this palette. So I've got like a really great shimmer pink. It's super light pink though. I'm going to just use my ring finger. So I just take a little bit on my ring finger and add right on the inner corner. You guys know I love a little shimmer on the inner corner. The inner shimmer. So yeah, I mean, it felt great to get hit up like, hey, we would like you to be one of our influencers or whatever. But I'll definitely have to investigate that if it would be worth it for me to do something like that. Let me know what you think about all that. Because I really will always be honest with you guys if I don't like something. There's plenty of things out there I don't like. All right, after that shimmer, I just want to go in and make sure it's transitioning and blending. And now this crazy product that I got, I've used it like once or twice, I think, on a video for you, but I don't even know if this is available anymore. It's this company called Half Magic. And I just got this at Ulta because the girl who checked me out in line when I was buying something else was wearing something like this. And I was like, what is that shimmer on your eye? It's amazing. And she told me it's right over there. It's called Half Magic. So I went and grabbed it. And it was this little pot of this shimmer. But you guys, this sucker was $30. I didn't realize it. I just went and grabbed it and paid for it. And then looked at my receipt when I got in the car because I'm a weirdo like that. I don't know if I'd buy it again, but it sure is pretty. So I'm gonna put it on my inner corner right over it because I've got shimmer, but this is more of sparkle. This has more of like a glitteriness to it. But I have to be careful with it because I don't like it falling down under here. But that's why I haven't done concealer yet, because if anything does fall under here, I can clean it up when it's time to do concealer. And then I didn't destroy anything. Okay, other side. Yeah, super pretty. So much sparkle. Okay, but so back to hair removal. So I definitely am not sure about letting all my hair grow out to even try it. Whether I do a video for this company or I just get one for myself. That sounds like quite an undertaking. So in the meantime, like I guess you can pluck, and there's also like dermaplaning. A lot of people are asking about that. A lot of women do it. I don't do it often. I've done it a couple times as just part of a facial package that I got. And I don't know. I mean, I like it and I don't like it at the same time. There's pros and cons, but it doesn't last very long, right? You're just shaving that, and then the, you know, the bush that I have on my chin and other random places just comes right back. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit of eyeliner. I'm doing the fat triangle again. I talked about this in my last video. It's like a fat triangle. And then it just disappears halfway over. And then I just thin it out. And you guys, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you're like, well, I have a hooded lid, I don't want to do that. Don't, it's okay. Just do a little bit of black eyeliner right on your lash line because it'll accentuate it for you. And I feel like I really screwed this up. But we're gonna be okay. Speaking of screwing things up, I didn't screw it up with that eyeshadow. I really like it. It's literally the first time I've ever used it. It's pretty. But you know, you got that big fat palette. It's like, how do you even choose? That's part of that design your look thing I was telling you about. Don't be afraid to try new ones. You may not want to try them for the first time on a YouTube video though. I'm kind of weird like that. But I don't mind making mistakes either. Okay, more fat triangle. Totally screwing it up. But, you know, I always say it will come together. It will come together. I'm gonna go back in with a tiny smudger. And I wanna take some of that dark purple again that I already used. Just a little bit on this little ridiculous teeny tiny smudger brush. Because I'm just gonna smudge the eyeshadow. Or I'm sorry, the eyeliner. Which helps if you've made any mistakes, because if you screw up your eyeliner and you just smudge it out, then it's smoky eyeliner. It's like, oh, she's so professional, it's smoky eyeliner. It's like, no, I just screwed it up. And it still looks good. All right, purple on the other side. All right, can sharpen it up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and use a little brow powder just to darken up my brows. You can see they disappeared a little bit because I got foundation on them. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and I just did my brows. I just put a little bit of brow powder right over the permanent makeup brows that I have, just to give them a little pop and accent them a little bit. And I went ahead and did mascara. And I put just kind of a lightweight coat because I am gonna go back and put on falsies. Yes, the falsies. False lashes, that is, false lashes. I don't need fake boobs, just false lashes. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit some concealer, but one of my favorite tricks with concealer, and this is just a good liquid concealer. Sometimes I just use foundation or a cream. Today I'm going to use this liquid. It's my own brand, really comparable to, I don't know, your basic concealer. Elf makes a good one, ELF. Shape Tape by Tarte. I always recommend, if you're going to get that brand, get the creamy one. The other one is a little bit too dry for mature skin, I believe, I have found. And a tiny bit of eye cream. I just put them together right there. And then I'm going to grab a fluffy concealer brush. Now, you know what? I want to sharpen up this eyeshadow. Never mind. I'm going to use my flat concealer brush. All right. I'm going to just mix that eye cream with that concealer. And I'm just getting both sides of that brush because I've got enough for both eyes on here. I don't want a lot of concealer. I don't have to conceal darkness. I just need to brighten up a little bit and hide maybe like some veins or whatever under there. So I don't want to put too much concealer if I don't have to, because it does age me if I get a lot of creasing under there. And I don't care what the concealer is, it's going to crease because your skin is creasing. But in order to make our setting steps easier in the end, remember I'm going to show you some great setting steps. I want to make sure that I'm lightweight on the concealer. Then the setting will look better. If you put a ton of concealer and then you set, it may look really cakey on you and age you, regardless of how old you are. Now, if you want to look older like I did when I was 12, that's cool. And I actually did look much older when I was 12. I had a couple of guys think I was like in my 20s when I was 12. Pretty weird, huh? I will never forget that day. I was at the park, our local community park, at the community pool there at the park, and I was walking over to the snack shack, and I was gonna get probably, I don't know, a bag of chips and a soda or something. And these two guys were sitting on the bleachers as I walked from the pool over to the snack area, and one of them was like, hey, you know, he's calling me over, he wanted to talk to me. You're beautiful, you look great. And I was like, okay. 12 years old, obviously looking a little more mature than necessary in a bathing suit. And I was like, hey, what's up? Really good looking guy, but I could see that he was older. I didn't care, I thought it was cool. You know, what do you know when you're 12? And his friend was like, dude, she's jailbait. Come to find out they're cops, and he didn't know. And the guy says to his friend, jailbait, and he asked me, how old are you? And I said, I'm 12. I didn't even try to say I was older because I always love a good shock value. I said, I'm 12, and he was like, holy crap, only he didn't say crap. And his friend was like, dude, I told you. And yeah, then I found out they were cops and how old they were later. It was a small town. So yeah, back to what I was saying. I always looked older. All right, I've got a good amount of concealer on with that flat concealer brush, and I just sharpened up my eyeshadow, and I kind of pat gently. I try not to pull and yank under my eyes, just pat, 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 pat. Pat, 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 pat. All right, I may be getting a little too indulgent with the concealer. It's just looking really nice today, so I like it. I'm gonna go back to my blush. This is kind of important if you wait on concealer till later in the game like I do. I like to just go back in with a tiny bit of blush, tiny bit, and make sure that you are back blending in that concealer area so it all comes together. You don't have to use extra blush if you still got some left on your brush. Totally fine. But that also is gonna help in your setting steps, because that blush, when you back blend, it helps it just kind of blend and smoke together really nice. So when you're setting, it's already prepped and ready to go. Okay, now let's do some lipstick. Oh no, wait, I wanna do some shimmer. I'm gonna do just a tiny bit of the highlighter powder on my cheek. because it's so pretty. Okay, a little bit on my nose. You don't have to do this step if you don't like this shiny highlighter jazz. I don't do it all the time, but I sure do love it. Just a tiny, tiny bit right on the highest point of your cheekbone. Now, if you have deep crow's feet that come down, maybe, you know, omit this step or just avoid that area. Make sure you're swinging down a little bit on it, okay? Just be really careful of that area where you're putting that shimmer shiny powder. Okay, now let's go to lips. So I wanted to use like a pink, but that's on the cool side, sort of, because of the shirt. And so I used this lip liner recently in a video. This is Charlotte Tilbury, her Pillow Talk, that is the fair shade. So she's got like a fair, a medium, and a deep, I think, in Pillow Talk. I think that's what it is, but I do know this is fair. So it's a little brighter pink. So if you've got a medium skin tone, you may need the deeper one. Okay, so I don't use this very often because look how short it is, and I just recently got it. So when I sharpen it, I feel like it just goes down so quick. And it's very expensive. Oh my God, it's expensive. So, but sometimes expensive is worth it. You just gotta know when to use it. Like I save it for the special lip occasions when I need this shade. I'm gonna start at my Cupid's bow. I'm going really light because it's kind of warm and my pencil is a little bit warmer than usual, so I don't want to just drag it through and waste a lot of product. So really light feathering. Definitely overlining that lip. And also because I was able to get rid of the hair on my lip today, I'll go ahead and overline so it doesn't look ridiculous. But if you've got a lot of hair here and you don't want to get rid of it, because you know sometimes we don't want to get into all that, it's okay. But if you do have a lot of hair on your upper lip or deep lines, just be a little more careful if you're gonna do the overline. Bringing it into my lip. You know, it just dawned on me. That's probably why I use so much lip liner. Look, I just put it all over my whole lip. All right, I was just being all like negative Nancy, like, oh my God, I waste so much of it. Look how much I just used. Anyway, so I'm going to use this lipstick. It's a glossy lipstick. I love this one. It's so pretty. This shade is called Mochi. You can see it's a little bit more of a warmer pink than a cool pink, but it's gonna look pretty with this lip liner. And like I said, it's glossy, so it's not a real thick lipstick, so I love the way it feels. This one is by Jafra Cosmetics. Again, it's the glossy lipstick in the shade Mochi, and I just love it. It's really lightweight and it kind of tastes like a pina colada, which makes me feel a little tropical, which is good in this humidity. You know, it's okay to feel tropical. Yuma, thinking you're tropical, knock it off. You can tell I'm on a rant about the weather today. It's something else. I really like those shades together though. It looks pretty. All right, I'm gonna forego lip gloss today because I love the way that this looks and feels. I'm just gonna leave it today. I normally love me some lip gloss, but it's pretty much complete. I didn't do the false lashes yet because I want to do my setting steps first and then pop on my lashes. So I did that like it was magic. Pop on my lashes. Bling. All right, let's do some setting. So I've already done powder, yeah, but I showed you just lightweight for buffing purposes. I'm gonna go back in with the same powder brush. It's just a fat, fluffy, this is by Real Techniques. You can get it anywhere. Just a little bit of powder. And right through the center, just pressing. Right here, and my chin. Bring it up on my jawline. Now, I didn't add any extra powder yet, or at all, I mean, not yet. I'm not gonna add extra powder. But I do wanna just sweep under my eye and pat gently. I don't wanna pull the skin with the brush. Just a gentle sweep. You can see this is really thin on the outside. It's super fluffy. Where it gets lighter, it's just much like thinner and fluffier, this brush. So it's not gonna pull. I'm just so lightly sweeping and patting under my eyes. Now, if you're already creasing, maybe you had a hot flash, maybe you have warm skin, maybe you have oily skin, you can add a little extra powder and swirl for a buff, but I really only need to pat. My skin is, fairly dry, but this is just more of a buffing right here. Just buffing really easy with a light amount of powder to start is a great way to begin your finishing and setting steps, okay? Now, I like the way everything looks. I've got it buffed out. I think everything's fairly even. Now, let's talk about setting spray. I get a lot of questions like, are they worth it? What's a good one? Well, I've got a matte setting spray. This is my brand here at the Beauty Bar, but some good comparable mattifying setting sprays are the one called All Nighter. I think that's by Urban Decay. And sorry if I'm wrong, but I know it's called All Nighter. It's like super stay put, you guys. Now, with matte setting sprays, yeah, if you need it for special occasions, use it. But think about what's in those things, okay? I don't know that I want such drying stuff on my skin on a regular basis. I do use it for like special occasion makeup, definitely. There's also a dewy finish setting spray. Again, my brand, but Elf has a great dewy finish setting spray that I think is fairly new. So if you prefer that nice, like shiny, dewy finish, try that kind of a setting spray. And if you don't like either one, you just like something nice and basic and good for your skin that's lightweight and just kind of a neutral spray. Another one of my favorites, you guys, again by Jafra Cosmetics. This is their setting spray. This has coconut water and aloe. It's really soothing for your skin, and it's not gonna dry your skin out like a matte setting spray. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because look, I even have my own brand of it. Sometimes it's necessary, but just know you have choices, okay, based on what type of finish you want, how you want it to look, and how you want it to feel. And I do really love it, a good moisturized feeling setting spray. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this one today. And, let me get my fan. The crazy fan that I love. All right, so hold about an arm's length away-ish from your face, and I do like X shape. You can do 1, 2. I did like 5 total because I'm a little extreme. Always keep a fan to get that stuff dry, and also so you can feel bougie. Yes. All right, it's looking pretty dang good. I'm gonna slap on some lashes, you guys. I'm gonna use these little half lashes. I carry these here at the Beauty Bar, of course, for my students and my clients. But if you like these little halfies, you can get a giant cart of them on Amazon. It's got like 6 sets on there. Super, super affordable, and they're great for practice too. If you are not good at applying false lashes, get yourself a card of these little half ones and use them for practice. They're like training wheels, and they're not expensive, so you don't feel bad about ruining them as you go. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put one of these lashes on together with you on camera so you can check it out. I did in my last video too. I always like to show you a little bit extra. All right, so I've got this little lash here. I'm gonna use a lash applicator tool, and I like the halfies because I don't have to trim them or anything. And the lash applicator tool is pretty groovy. Check me out with my professional influencer YouTube video hand behind the product thing. Sometimes I forget to do that. And I'm gonna use my glue. This is just a clear glue. You can see where it is because it's blue when you first put it on. And I had to put on my glasses because I don't like to put the glue on without having my glasses on, because God only knows where it's gonna go. All right, now I'll go ahead and grab my magnifying mirror. And I'm gonna put my lash over here in my fan. I told you I've got a tower fan over here, because you wanna let that glue get a little bit tacky. That way you don't just slap it on. When you first put the glue, you slap it on and it's wet and you kind of fight with it. So give it a second, let it get tacky, and then it'll a lot better, because that's what you want your lash to do. Here I go. Right on the outer area. Make sure that inner corner is attached. There we go. Once in a while, I'll fight with this little inner corner. And honestly, it's easier for me when I'm not having to let you see. So give me some grace on that. But I want to stay close in the camera so you can see. Because if you're not learning and finding ways to try this, then what was the point, right? Okay, oh. There we go. The struggle is real. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure it's stuck on both sides real quick, and I'll put on the other one and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, I am back with both lashes on, and the struggle bus was my main ride today. So it's really hard to get my inner corner to, like, the inner corner of the lash to actually lay down. So I had to add a little more glue. And I hate not showing you the struggle, because I know you're gonna have it too, and I wanna show you how to fix it. But at the same time, I don't want you sitting here staring at me struggling with an eyelash all day long. So I went ahead and fixed that one. I got my other one on, no problem, but I did wanna show you how I fixed it, just in case you have a problem. And this is always something I do anyway. So I have this teeny tiny little eyebrow brush. It's a little angled brush. I'm gonna take some of the black eyeshadow. I'm super careful with black eyeshadow. I barely just dabbed it in there. And now I'm gonna show you what I do with the lash band if it's driving me crazy. I just take this angle and tap it right across the lash band. And it helps it stick down a lot better. You know, if you feel like you're fighting with the outer corners. Sometimes I even have to go in this way to close it off. If you feel like you can see where that lash ends and it's just kind of sticking there all weird, and if that drives you crazy, you can just add a little bit of black powder. Sometimes you can take your black eyeliner again and add it right here. And then do right in your tight line to disguise as well. Now, I don't have to do that every time. Sometimes they just go on really easy, and sometimes I have to fight. And you know, I already think I'm Rocky, so don't think I won't get like in a lash battle with my own self. Good thing I win though. All right, so I've got my lashes on. I think that I look really pretty, actually. I really love this shirt and this look, but this hair is something else. So, like, I bet you've been wondering, like, what the heck is she gonna do with that hair? So normally I just curl my hair in like these little loose kind of ringlety waves, but I really, really wanted to get some volume because of the whole, you know, my hair's thinning, I can't get a lot going on top. So I usually will just, when I'm having that problem, will roll and set the top like I did. So I just rolled it the same, but then I slapped a little hairpin in it, just one of these little jobbies. And I just put it in the sections on top because that's really where I need that volume anyway. and then I left the bottoms down. That way, you know, I don't have to reach so far back. Like if your shoulders aren't super mobile, this might be difficult. So just the top might be easier for you to work with. And don't rip your hair out trying to get the pin out like I just did. I'm complaining about not having a lot of hair, and I think I just ripped some out. Oh well. There it is. Ha! And this will help me have a lot more volume on top. I don't do it every time because, you know, it does take a little more time. All right, I think I got them all. And now I can just give them a shake. A shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. I don't know who sings that. I'm gonna have to find out though. So I've got like a lot more on top. Oh, I just looked in the mirror. Look, I stuffed my tag on. All right, I'm gonna have to cut that off. I am such a nerd, you guys. I thought I was feeling something weird over there. All right. I could do all kinds of crazy things with this hair. What do you think about this? That did give me a lot of volume, but hold on a second. Hairspray. So this is that brand Kenra. It's pretty expensive. This little one was ridiculously expensive, but I needed a travel size, so I thought I'd give it a try, and it's really a great hairspray. I wish it wasn't so expensive. But I don't know if you've noticed, some of my brands that I used to use that were more affordable just aren't working like they used to. I feel like the formulas have changed. Something's going on. I think I'm just gonna go with this crazy sauce for right now. I think it's okay. I may decide on some larger earrings later, but you know, these are my go-tos, so I think I'm all right for now. You guys, what do you think? I hope that you give this look a try. I hope that maybe the hair tip will help, the little pin and curl. That easy glam, regardless of your skin type, your skin age, or your eye size, it's not very difficult. I hope you give those steps a try. Just remember to design, apply, and maintain your look. I always teach that here. And then also with the lightweight concealer, adding to the ease of those setting steps that I hope that you'll give them a try. And even after your setting spray, if you still feel like you're a little shiny, you can easily just buff right through there. But that way you're not packing and caking and baking and all kinds of other words that are inappropriate for makeup application. I hope these help. One of my most important finishing and setting steps is I always gotta check those teeth. My now famous teeth, since I shared the story about losing them. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you have to watch my last video. You guys, I hope you know that I love you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here on my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and come back and see me next time. I've always got something fresh and new to share with you, and hopefully keeping it simple so that you'll give it a try yourself. Bye everyone. Have a wonderful day.